Guys, just mainly want to talk a little bit about mainly what I think JDM is. I think often people got a misunderstanding of the word. I think they really don't know what it means as a whole. I don't really think they know what kind of a culture it really is, what it means to people like true car guys like us. You know what I'm saying? If you're watching that and if you're watching this and you hear that word and it just puts a special feeling in your heart that you can't just describe, then this video is definitely for you. I think often, like I said, it's usually misunderstood. It has to be this really stanced out or cambered out Honda, or like, and more so in general, like S2000, or an Integra, or like an Eagle Talon, one of those cars. But most of the times that's not even the case. JDM is a way, it's a life, it's a culture. It's a way for people who understand cars and mechanics far past the normal standards, the normal rate. And I think that's often a lot of times where people often use the word ricer in general too. Like, usually when you come across a car that is known to be riced out, or they call someone a ricer, it's often because they don't like the way they did their car. It's too loud, it's too stance, it's too cambered, looks ugly to them. But see, that's not the thing. As car people, as brothers who have a fellow love for such engineering, for such craft, for such art, for such beauty, much more bigger than ourselves, I don't think that word is right. We should embrace all form of love and modifications when it comes to cars, because just because one isn't good or clean to us doesn't necessarily mean it's not accepted by many other car cultures or car lovers alike. And as you guys see, yeah, my name's Honda Boy, and usually that's all I drive. But as you can see right now, I'm rocking my girlfriend's Tang, and they've always had a special place in my heart, as long as I can remember. Always growing up, I've always wanted one of my own, and I've had a few, and they'll always have a special place in my heart. But Japanese cars also will too. Let's not forget the AE86, let's not forget the S2000, but more importantly, what about cars that are often mislooked? Like the box style BMWs, the micros, the Daihatsus. I know those aren't, typical JDM, but like I said, I don't think it has to be Japanese to be JDM, and I don't think you just have to like, Japanese domestic stuff, to be JDM. Yeah, it plays a big role in it because, the words in there, but, I think, let me put it like this. Whenever I see a car rolling down the street, whether it's a 370, a 350, a G35, an AE86, a S2000, whatever, I get such a big, warm, fuzzy feeling in my heart, because I hope that the people that are driving it don't just leave it to what it is. Because the car's only gonna be what it is until you make it what you want, and I get such a big, warm, fuzzy feeling in my heart because I hope that they're gonna take it to the next level. I hope, because when you get a car like that, yeah, it already has its own style, or it has its own personality, but there's so much more that you can do. You can really give it its own character, its own feel, and I think that's part of the time why we're drawn to stuff like that most of the time, because we see it and yeah, it looks cool, but then at the same time, on the other side of our brain, while we're seeing the car and we're saying, wow, that looks cool, on the other side, we're envisioning what we would have it look like if it were ours, what, you know, we would be doing to it, you know, how we would have it look. And it's just so cool because it's something so much bigger than ourselves. And, you know, Jocelyn, you know, Blair Jocelyn said it best. You know, I don't think anybody can ever say it better. You know, I think the best way to describe JDM to its purest form is following a script that's unwritten. You know, not being a follower, you know, because oftentimes we look to other people for advice to what we should do to our own cars. Why? It's your own right. You know, yeah, ask for advice and stuff like that, but don't let other people control, you know, how it's going to look, how it's going to perform, you know. That should be up to you, you know. And oftentimes, instead of the car looking, you know, at our vision because we don't think it's possible, you know, we look to other people and do it how they would have it done, you know. No, we don't need to be a follower. We need to follow an unwritten script, rather. You know, go out of your comfort zone. You know, you get a car that you've never had before, do it. You know, if you haven't done it, I mean, go and do it. You know, get out of your comfort zone. Don't get on any of the forums, you know. Don't listen to the naysayers and even people who speak positively, you know. Just do your own thing. Create your own car. Create your own vision. You know, because passion in the mind will lead you so much farther than anything else in this world. And, you know, whether you have a Mustang or whether you have an import, you know, it doesn't matter. You know, you're only limited to your dreams and your imagination. And things can go so much higher than, you know, you would expect. You know, so whether you're just an average guy, you know, working an average job, you know, don't let that stop you. You know, go and do what you want to do. Make your car what you want to make it. Never give up on it. Because you never want to look back one day and say, man, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that. And yeah, it's easy to say it sometimes more than others. But you're never going to want to look back and say, man, I wish I would have. You know, I always take it to the next level. Always. And, you know, never ride around playing. You know, always make the car how you envision it. You know, that's what I always try to do. But yeah, you know, I was sitting here thinking, you know, what does JDM really mean to me? You know, and I think that really explains it the best. You know, is just following an unwritten script. You know, something that's never been done before. You know, everybody always says, oh, if it has to do with an import, it's already been done. Not necessarily. You know, I know one thing, you know, in Mobile, I've never seen a Mazda MX-5 with a 3-rotor in it. You know what I'm just saying? There's so many paths that you can take. There's so many things that you can do that haven't been done, you know, and even if they have already been done, you know, so what? You can do it to fit your mold, to fit your style. You know, it's kind of like this bandana, you know. I mean, why just wear regular red or blue or yellow, you know, mix it up. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, girls, you know, let's stop this stereotypes, you know, because, you know, people like us, we already hate them in general, you know, because most of the time when people think of an import, they think of this, you know, trashed out car, you know, and even though it looks gorgeous to us, you know, it looks ugly to them, you know, but let's stop putting down our own people. Let's stop stereotyping our own people. Let's stop judging our own people, but rather embrace them, love them, you know, help them create their dreams. You know, because there's no better feeling than when you first roll up on the scene to a car show, and as far as the eye can see, there's nothing but cars everywhere. Import and domestic, you know, low, high, you know, just that feeling you get, you know, it makes you feel like, wow, I'm home. You know, it's like the closest thing that we can get to heaven. You know, and I know when I used to watch Monte Carlo, and I still do, you know, like, I get that feeling all over again, you know, in every video, you know, and it's like you're sitting right there. It's like, you know, you're with your brother, you're with your sister, you're with your family, you know, and that's how, you know, car shows are, whether it's Import Alliance or Baytown Throwdown or, you know, just a local car meet. You know, that's why we do it. That's why we do what we do. You know, we don't just do it just to, you know, do it and not think anything of it, you know, just be like, oh, whatever. No, it's a social, not only is it a social environment and an experiment, but we do it for the thrill, for the adventure, for the passion, for the love. So why not keep that going, you know? So